I started shooting, recording nature many years ago, in my early 20s. And then I made a trip to Iceland, and there I realized how important water was there, and that you can find it in different shapes and different states, like frozen, liquid, in the mountains, in the rivers. It was very interesting, the experience of doing pictures over there. And then I started to narrow my artistic practice into that. So that was the time I started to realize what I wanted to do. And nowadays I'm really focused on water because it's the medium, or the way that I can express myself, and I can express abstraction that for me it's a very important part of my work. I think when I started working about water, my studies are in photography, so I started shooting water mainly, but then I realized that there were other ways to express myself as using video and sound. So I also started doing art installations with video and sounds of water, and that were sometimes combined with photography. I think water it's more like a global thing. I think it's not only me personally, that for me it's a place where I can find what I want to show, to do my artworks. But I think water it's a concept that it's so global, and it's also it got a lot of political implications for a lot of people, well, for everyone actually. So for me it's not only about myself, that I find when you're working with water, you always maybe it's not the word, but sometimes you have this feeling of living the nature, no? Because if you're in front of an ocean, it's very impressive, or in front of a waterfall, something like that. But I think humans and animals are really impressed by water. No, it's difficult to not be impressed by that. I think abstraction puts you on a place as an observer, where you can, mainly when you're working with photography or video or sound, that it's something that you record from reality. So you're recording something that already exists. I think abstraction can create a new paradigm for what we perceive as a reality. People sometimes are nervous if they don't understand what they are seeing or what they are listening, and I like to create this feeling.
Luego, con todo este trabajo que hago de recopilación, lo que intento es llevarlo a la abstracción más absoluta que pueda y crear unas sensaciones nuevas, ¿no? Como unas capas nuevas de realidad que van más allá de lo que vemos de forma directa, que es normalmente un poco lo que esperamos con el medio del vídeo, con el medio sonoro, ¿no? Que es estás grabando algo real, tú esperas ver algo que te lleve a esa realidad. Pues aquí es como una capa diferente de esta realidad, sobre todo también son imágenes en blanco y negro. Los sonidos son sonidos también grabados de la realidad con algunos reverbs, pero todo tiene muy poco retoque, es decir, solo está contrastado, pero es la manera como, es decir, cómo lo grabo, ¿no? Cómo hago el vídeo, cómo hago la fotografía, cómo grabo el sonido, que nos lleva a este punto diferente de percepción. Entonces, bueno, esto es un viaje de estas grabaciones y un viaje abstracto de lo que sería el agua en esta zona.
Regarding the residency, I think it's very nice how it's organized, and that there is always someone there. I think that makes you feel like there is like a bold project behind this, bringing art also to a small town, which I think that it's not that easy, and also experimental art that I guess like it's even more difficult. And regarding like my experiences working in this area, I find it very interesting because well, when I checked the open call, I saw that there was like, I was like, okay, let's see if this place has water, because it's the first thing I always check when I'm going to do an art residency, like how much water this place has and in which forms, because if it's like a city that it's got a beach and that's all, that's not enough for me. It has to have like different spaces. And Castro Marim, it's very interesting in this way because it has the ocean, which is like you can see the immensity there. Then you have the river that it's also interesting because it separates two countries. It has two dams, the Belice and Odelete, which is also interesting because it's a place that it's artificial, it's created by humans, which I also like to shoot these kind of places. And then there is the Salinas, which are like another places where water is very important in the whole process of getting the salt. Yeah, I think also the water is very important for the topography and the history of this area, so that's also interesting. I mean, at the end my work can show something, but I find very interesting that it has something else like behind it.